Many of us have never seen this fish. It's called the tigerfish, and you can see why. Look at the fine, ferocious elegance of it. Look at the long, brilliantly silvery body that all the same has a strong depth to it, with the black stripes running along its sides. And look at the splendid flare of its great tail, vivid orange, black-edged. But above all, look at that head, that wildly fierce head. And never on any fish will you see a more formidable mouth, with such tigerish teeth. Those long, razor-sharp teeth bristle from the mouth. They project forward. And that's a key to the whole nature of the tiger's head. It's armor-plated inside and out. And it needs a sharp hook and a hard strike for a secure hold. And even then, you lose plenty of hooked fish. As you'd expect, the tiger is a wonderful fighter. The moment he's hooked, he's out of the water in a great leap. And it teems and gives fine sport on Zambezi's many great rivers and lakes. Of all the visions of splendid and exotic fishes that the very thought of fishing in Africa summons up, I suppose it was the wild and splendid tigerfish that drew me most. But come to Africa, fishing with me, as I went to tropical Zambia. We're flying over Victoria Falls. Africans call it the smoke that thunders. 1 million gallons of untamed water pour over every second. The Zambezi River is a mile wide here. For its many hundreds of miles through the lovely country of Zambia, the great Zambezi goes broad and splendid, running through wild bush, past swamps and sandbanks. This is deepest Africa, the tropical heart of it, far from the sea, far from towns. We're going far up the river, up to Sesheke, where there's a little nucleus of man. It's the fish research camp that the Deputy Director of the Zambia Game and Fisheries Research Department, Graham Bell-Cross, and I are using as our base for going after tiger. Tackle must be strong to fish for tiger, but light enough to allow the tiger to show its fine fury. The spoons have big single hooks, forged and needle-sharp on strong wire traces. Nothing less would do for the tiger's armored mouth. This camp is perched above the river, where Barotse province lies against the sweep of water. We're going up the river by boat, and Daniel, he's a fish scout, helps us down with the gear. There's excitement in the start of any fishing day, but this day, to go for so stirring, dramatic a fish on this majestic tropical river stays vivid in my memory. The water's deep here. We can let the boat show its pace, 30 knots. We must go 3 miles upriver until we come to typical tiger water. This broad, serene stretch between the hot shimmer of distant sandbanks is beautiful, but not good for tiger. Graham has a place in mind, an ideal place with a rushing tumble of rapids, with areas of quieter water between. Tiger lie on the heavy water and at the edge of it, and they'll follow a bait out of it into the slack. Ah, there it is ahead of us, a splendid pour of river coming down between islands. Ideal tiger water. We'll come up to that island, up to the downstream end of it, an island of white sand dazzling in the tropical sun, with matete grass growing down to the water. We can run the boat ashore there, and there's fine tiger water on both sides. Graham wades off to fish the fast water on the other side. I'm going to fish that lovely pouring run this side of the island, casting from the boat. What wonderful water to fish. There's the main rush, really fast, heavy water, just what tiger like. Now, in the dry season, when the river's low, see the flies on the water. Small fish take the flies, and then come the small tiger to take the little fish. And, in turn, the big tiger comes savaging and preying on the smaller. And look, there's a fish eagle, that magnificent bird. You see them and hear them constantly about the river, fishing here in Zambia. It looks a massive hook, doesn't it? But it needs to be to find a secure hold in that tigerish mouth. You need to make long casts, a bit downstream and across, right into the heavy water. Across and round, towards me and into the slack. Nothing that time. Cast again. There's a fish. Strike hard. A leap. Striking well. Must keep control. Gain some line when possible. But remember the 12 pounds breaking strain. Hello. The fish eagle's off. Wait. Well, I'm damned. Well, I've got my hook back, but I think I'd rather have had a fish, much as I admire that lovely bird. Graham is casting across the slack water into the fast run, bringing his bait back quickly through the current, spinning and flashing. Graham reels quickly. For tiger, you must reel quickly, though this water so fast. He's into one. He strikes 3 times to get the hook well into that bony mouth. Look at that jump. How they fight these tiger. And Graham plays it hard. But he still has to play the fish fairly carefully on that 12 pounds breaking strain line. Tiger, with those teeth, can bite through the wire trace. He's got it, and brings it back to the boat for me to see. A ferocious, lovely fish that you can be proud to have played.
While Graham returns to his water round the point, I try again, still casting across and downstream, to bring the bait moving quickly across and out of the current towards me and the slack.
A strike.
It's falling, but play it firmly, hold it when I can. But giving line when it's wanted. Boring away again. Yes, a good fish. He's tiring. Now he's in the slack. Yes, there he is. Only a 2 to 3 pounder, but a brilliant fighter, as you saw. Leaving Graham round the bluff of the island, I'm going to try a new place on the other side, where the water tumbles among the rocks, reach through the matete grass. You have to be careful getting through it. Every leaf is needle sharp. Now this is much faster water, beautiful water, full of life. Cast well out into the current and let the bait swing across and round, reeling fast so that the spoon works and flashes until it comes back to me in the slack water. No fish that time. Again, well out. The current and my retrieve makes the spoon flash enticingly past the waiting tiger. Another cast. Must be a tiger. Lots of tiger in this water. And there it is. Double strike. Must make sure the hook is firmly set. This is fast water, and the tiger knows how to make use of it. Must keep a tight line, but be ready for a sudden plunge. Pump it, hold, getting it into the slacker water now. Yes, mine now, I think. There it is, a fine fish, a worthy quarry. Graham's returning with his last catch. The river pours and seethes about us. It has its own tumbling, turbulent life. Our fishing's done. All fishing days must end, and it's always hard to leave. But at least the way home now is down this broad, magnificent river, this mighty, beautiful, historical Zambezi, where you lose sense of time, and indeed of all the rest of the world.
Well, that was a glimpse of the legendary, magnificent Zambezi River that flows for so many hundreds of miles through tropical Africa, and for so much of its course through the beautiful, comparatively newly independent Republic of Zambia. And it was a glimpse of fishing for tiger. It's often said that the bonefish, a tropical saltwater fish, is the hardest fighter of all. Well, I've never fished for bonefish so far, but it has to be very, very good indeed to be better than a tiger. Look at this tiger skull. Look at those teeth. They can only belong to a fish that's wild and strong and a very hard fighter. Well, that's the tigerfish, and it's Zambia. And need I say how happy I was to be able to find out for myself how thrilling this fishing is. But then, all fishing's fascinating, isn't it? And whether you're English, German, French, American, Chinese or African, whatever your country, I hope that you may also have the delight one day, as I did, of fishing for tiger in Zambia. Meanwhile, let's go fishing soon again in this series of films, shall we? Goodbye.